Good morning. Good morning. It's April 10th. And as promised, I wanted to come to you guys with a market update. This is for consumers, buyers, sellers, anybody that wants to know what's going on with their home value or going to happen with their home value, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, attorneys, anybody who wants to get updated on what's going on in the market, what we're seeing for data, what we expect in the near future and for the rest of the year. I know nobody has a crystal ball right now. This is uncharted territory, but at the same time, we can look at some of the data out there that's going on, and it's changing by the day, changing by the week, and we can come to some conclusions about that data as to what's going on in the market and what's going to happen the next month, 2 months, 3 months, the rest of the year. After 2020, I think all bets are off, but there'll be some signs come mid-year, late year that'll tell us kind of what's going to happen with the real estate market after this is all over and when we see the real impact. So I'm going to try to do this in 10 minutes or under because I know I'll lose you guys after 10 minutes. So here we go, going to get started. So the things I wanted to cover today are what is going on with the real estate market right now, who is still out there buying and selling, what is going on with lenders, what will happen in the next 30 to 45 days, what do I expect to happen this summer, and what do I expect to see this fall and winter. And jump right into it and use some data to prove my points here. And data to me is where it should all begin. Nobody should be thinking knee-jerk reactions. Nobody should be just trusting everything you see on Facebook. Data will tell you more than your friend who thinks they're an expert in real estate. I've always been driven on data. I've made it through the last recession, been in the business for 15 years, and it's important to watch data when you're going through big changes in a market like this, or what could be big changes in a market. So what's going on with the market right now? We're going to first look at active homes this year versus last year, 4/8/2019 versus 4/8/2020. As you can see, there's 3,050 in Worcester County, and for this week, I'm looking at Worcester County in particular. We'll look at the state level as well, and most of this matches county to county. If you want any specifics on a different county, just let me know. But as far as Worcester County goes, there was 3,050 properties on the market last year at this time, 2,700 this year. So we're down 10%. So where we were at last spring, we were saying, man, inventory is low last spring. It's even lower this spring. Now, obviously, with this pandemic, we have much lower buyer demand right now, or less buyers in the market, but there's some very serious buyers in the market that are still moving. And then I also wanted to look at and see what our inventory looked like from 4/8 to 3/8, just a month ago. And we are actually up a little bit on our listings, which means some listings are still coming to the market, which what I'm seeing is the most serious sellers, the sellers that are in a need to relocate position or have two homes and they need to sell one of them, some financial reason that they're on the market right now, and new listings are hitting the market. As far as Worcester County goes, I want to also look at what was contingent and under agreement and what has been going under agreement in the last really 3 months to see what it looks like this year compared to last year, even through the pandemic. And Worcester County contingent under agreement in the last week, there was over 262, if you see this little number right here, single families, condos, multis, land, commercial. There was 262 that went contingent in the last week, which is a lot, especially considering what we have for inventory in Worcester County. That's over 10% of the inventory gone in 1 week. Imagine that. And when we're already talking about low inventories. So, and then in the last 30 days, there's been 900, which if you look at it from a comparison, if we had roughly 2,700 listings in the county, if 900 went in a month, that's almost 30% of the listings gone in a month. So there are still buyers out there looking. They're doing so in a much safer fashion. But there are motivated buyers and sellers out there in the market, and there's not a lot coming on the market. So it's creating even more of an inventory problem than we had even a month ago. Available listings that are not contingent, as we saw, a little bit different number than our category above because we just chose singles, condos, multis, land, and commercials, but there's 2,456 available properties in Worcester County right now. So inventory is still low. Then I asked myself, who is out there still buying right now? And a key factor for me in looking at that is seeing what kind of level of showings are there on properties. Now, this doesn't also correlate directly to how many buyers are willing to buy, because I think window shoppers aren't looking right now. I think people are doing their due diligence online before they go and say, let's go out and run out and see the house. They're doing more drive-bys. They're doing more Google Earth views and virtual tour views to make sure if they're going to go see a property, it's for the right reasons. So the showings in the state through our showing time service, which is a major service that most agents use in the state, is showing that, really showings are down over 40, almost 40% from year to year. And you can see it's tracking week to week. And we hit a real low point around the end of March when this all started. And you can tell some people are just getting back out there. They have figured out what PPE means in real estate now, how to keep themselves safe when they go show houses. Sellers are figuring out how to keep their house safe when people come into their homes. Real estate agents have figured all that out, and there has been a trickle up of showings. That's probably partly because of, it would be a typical spring market right now, but it's also partly because people are trying to figure out, okay, I still have an essential need. I need to move into another place. I have to move into the area. For whatever reason, they're still out there looking. So we saw an uptick in showings, which is a positive sign. And what it tells me is that as the weeks go on and as the comfort level increases, not that it's going to be comfortable anytime soon, but as the weeks go on, people will get more comfortable getting out and looking at houses when our officials and government and Governor Baker let us kind of know that it's, we're not running out there and doing stupid things like we used to, but it's safe to kind of resume some parts of our life, one being buying and selling homes. Plus, you have to realize that, there are a lot of relocation clients still out there. We've had in the office, I think 6 or 7 that I found out, I've been asking questions to my agents, who are these buyers and sellers? And a lot of them are relocation clients coming in and going out of state. So there's still people that are out there that have a need in real estate, and we're servicing them as safely as possible, while still also trying to keep it low key and stay at home, which is an interesting combination, an interesting balance when you're trying to be an effective real estate agent. So then I wanted to just kind of quickly go over what's going on with the lending practices. So basically, FHA is making changes. Credit guidelines have increased, so credit scores have to be higher than they were before. Debt to income they're looking at a little harder. Basically, they're fearful of having a lot of foreclosures, so many lenders are changing their guidelines. It doesn't mean FHA is changing their guidelines. It means the lenders are. So if one agent or one buyer has a pre-approval with a company and they just learned that their pre-approval is no longer valid because of their credit score, they should go talk to another real estate lender, because it could be very different from lender to lender. The other thing with jumbo loans, a lot of the major jumbo loan creators and carriers have closed up the jumbo loans, so you may have to go to a local bank for a jumbo loan, or basically purchase prices in this area over 500,000. There'll still be lenders that are doing them, just less. So keep that in mind. Timelines for closings are definitely increased, more like 45 to 60 days, just because everything's being slowed down with this process. Refinances, if you're looking to refinance, I'm hearing from most lenders this summer will be a good time to refinance. The rates will drop back down a little bit for refinancing. They just got they increased a little bit over the last few weeks because they were getting so many that they just wanted to stop the flow, so to speak. So they raised the rates a little bit. Most lenders did. Just shop around, but don't worry. There'll still be a good opportunity to refinance in the coming months. Rates are going to look great for the rest of the year. So if you're in the buying mood and you're thinking you still want to buy sometime this year and your job hasn't been greatly affected, then rates will be great through the year. If you see the right home, just buy it. Don't wait. I don't see the prices changing all that much, especially initially when we come out of this, because there's just not enough inventory. Price declines and shifts from a buyer to a seller market. Right now, we're still in the seller's market. They're always inventory driven. we have to have a lot more inventory in the market before it becomes a buyer's market and before sellers start competing with each other downward. So if you're thinking about selling, it's a great time to sell. If you're thinking about buying, just when you find the right home, just buy it. You shouldn't worry about the $5,000, $10,000 difference in price. You should worry about, is it the right long-term house for you? Is it the right rate? And what can you do? And how much can you enjoy the home, your life in that new home? What's going to happen in the next 30 to 45 days? You're going to see activity continue to increase. Pricing will really matter. You can't just shoot it high like we did before if you're a seller. The last thing you want to do is always be above your competition. You just say, let's shoot high, and then you drop your price, and then this guy drops his price, and then you drop your price, and the other seller that's your competition drops their price again. You don't want to be chasing a market because we could see changes this fall to where the first glut of buyers that get back out there buy, and then some people are definitely going to get knocked out of the buyer pool for the short term and the long term. But initially, the ones that are still able to buy, still have good jobs, still want those great rates, they're going to buy. Then there'll be more people that come to the market that want to secure a property after they get back to work after a few months. So come August, September, I still see the market being pretty good. After that, all bets are off, in my opinion, until we see what happens with jobs after this is all over. How many people get back to work? There's plenty of demand that even if some buyers got knocked out of the buyer pool, there's still going to be plenty of demand when this is all over in a month or 2 months, 3 months down the road. The real test would be fall, winter, and see how many jobs there still are out there, how many people got back to work, how many people are moving into New England still, how much industry and business gets back going after this is all done. So it'll be interesting to see, but I think overall Massachusetts is still primed for growth, and this fall and winter could look okay as long as people don't lose their homes to foreclosure or just are moved into a forced sell situation. I think the activity is going to keep picking up because people are going to make their own decisions. Us as real estate agents just have to be cognizant of making sure we're being safe and controlling our clients. I think more clients will want to get back out there than will want to take out there, but it'll be up to real estate agents to police when is the need there and how can we keep our clients safe. Some deals are going to fall apart, but we haven't seen many deals fall apart because of this. Some people have lost their jobs. We've had some deals fall apart, but not as many as I expected because everybody's trying to keep a positive outlook on what's going to happen in the future. Inventory is getting lower and lower, so it still spells a good time if you're selling. This summer, I think inventory is going to come on. It's going to get eaten up as fast as it goes on. It'll feel like a strong market. Prices will probably look level. I don't think they'll go up there. I don't think they'll go down this summer. It'll be a good time to sell, and if you find the right property, it'll be a great time to buy too. It's going to be crucial to watch the job market, as I mentioned, to see what happens from there. This fall and winter, it depends on how strong the buyer pool is. The strongest buyer pool will have already closed on their home. Inventory is probably going to grow a little bit because more people will be in a position where they didn't get back to work fast enough, or they had a job pay cut, and now they can't really afford the house that they're in, and they're going to want to sell and get themselves into a better position. So inventory will probably grow this fall and winter. I don't think you see a lot of foreclosures, but you'll see some growth of inventory, which could level out the market. It could cause us to see a decline in the market. Just depends on how many motivated sellers there are out there, how much they're competing with each other, and how many buyers are out there. So it's too early to tell, but the signs are there that they're probably going to see some kind of decline. The other factor is the market always seems to slow around in an election year. People want to see who's going to get elected, how's that going to affect the economy. So we got to watch out for that too. That may be a double-edged sword where we do see some declines this late fall, winter because of the election and the fallout from the COVID-19 crisis. So we'll have to see. I think it's going to be big to watch the job market. Not necessarily the stock market, but the job market. How many of those 3 million plus people that have gone on unemployment in the last few weeks are getting back to work? How many retailers survive, restaurants survive? I think it's going to be important for us to really focus on supporting local when this is over and we can get back out there, because local has a huge impact on our own communities, and shopping local will be extremely important when this is done. So keep that in mind. Hope that was helpful. I'll be back again next week for another market update. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day, and please stay safe and healthy, and help us all get through this. And if you need anything, the Lux Group is always here to help. And have a great day.